Hi guys, it's Janet here with RemarkablyCreated.com. We are on day 10 of our 14 days of Valentine love, and I have a really fun project for you today. Some of you may have gotten a sneak peek at this project, at least this version of it, on my Facebook Live 2 weeks ago when we featured Charming Cafe. This project here is using this bundle. It's called Charming Cafe, has an amazing set of framelits that go with it, and this really cute stamp set. We also used the box from the Lots of Love, and you'll see that in a second. And inside the box, what we have is 2 gift card holders. These are our really sweet little long notes, and they are designed to fit inside this box. I have 2 with gift cards in them, and they easily fit. You could easily add a third one if you wanted to. So let's just pull out one of these. And here's the sweet little note card. And it says, "Come let us sit together and drink." Oops, and that's not the one with the gift card in it. This one is here. So come let us sit together and drink. And then I have the word coffee, and then I have a Visa gift card. Of course, you would want to add like a coffee card or something like that for your local place. Although Visa also gets you coffee at those local places. So we're going to work together to make a Valentine's version of this project. So let's set all of these elements aside. And what we're going to be working with is the Sure Do Love You stamp set. We also have, and I've got all these pieces that I've already kind of pre-done a little bit of the work on. And we have the coordinating framelits. And remember that they're always sold as a bundle that saves you 10%. But again, if you're just a stamper and you don't die cut, you can always get just the stamps. And maybe you just like to die cut and you don't like the stamps. They don't have to be purchased together, saving you 10%. They can be individual purchases. So that's the bundle that we're working with. Let's set that aside. And so ahead of time, I've created a couple of different elements. I've done a little bit of embossing. I also have some washi tape here. Okay, from our annual catalog. Let's pull some more of these elements out that we have. Just for you, little candy hearts. Sure Do Love You, another little heart. I've just got a whole bunch of little pieces that I went ahead and pre-done. Because believe it or not, I have not actually made this box. I thought it through in my head. I kind of die cut all of the elements. But I didn't make a master one to see how cute it was going to be. And sometimes that's how I roll in my studio. And so hopefully that doesn't scare some of you too awful much. And I thought we'd have the fun of assembling this together. I mean, just trying to find the paper that we're working with. I thought I had a sampling of it here to show you guys. I guess I don't. Okay. But anyway, what we're working with is our Painted with Love paper. And the Painted with Love paper is this beautiful kind of artsy look. And then the other side has a little bit of gold elements to it. So you've got some gold foiling with it. So, quick review for you, for those of you who don't know about embossing. I am doing a Facebook Live video. It'll be part 2 on Saturday, February 10th, which happens to be today. And last Sunday we did a bunch of embossing, what do I call it? Techniques, I guess is the right word. And we had a lot of fun with that. And tonight I am doing Embossing 2.0 over at Facebook.com Remarkably Created. And let's just grab a little heart here for just a second. And we'll grab a block. And so for embossing, you're going to go ahead and you need your embossing powder. You need a wet ink that's going to grab the powder. You need your embossing buddy. This is anti-static, and you're just going to rub your paper so you get the powder just where you want it to be. You'll ink up your stamp, and you're going to just stamp it down. You'll take your powder, and in this case, I happen to have purchased several containers of the embossing powder, and I just have them in a little like Rubbermaid container. If you just happen to have one of the small jars, you could tip it into a coffee filter and then just create a funnel really easily back into your jar. The last step of embossing then would be to go ahead and take your heat tool, and Stampin' Up's heat tool has 2 settings, high and low. Go ahead and put it on the high setting, and then you'll just go ahead and heat it. I like to just kind of hold it still and work it across the image instead of doing this. And then you'll end up with your beautiful embossing. Stampin' Up! Currently has white, gold, and silver and copper embossing powders in their catalog. So let's set that aside. And here you can see all of these elements were indeed embossed with white. and then also using the die cut elements from the framelits. So let's set that aside. And let me grab our sticky strip. So two of the other things that I did is when you're making this box, you need to cut, let me move this over into the screen, sorry about that. You need to cut 2 pieces from the box. And in this case, I wanted to create a heart window. And because of that, I needed to be very aware of where my tabs were so my heart wouldn't be upside down on one side of the box. So here you can see the tab is down and the tab is up. And you can see how my hearts are placed. So if you're going to create a window, a die cut image into the box and you want it on both sides, just be aware of your tabs and their orientation. So for the boxes, you've seen me assemble quite a few of these because I love this little box. Besides being designed specifically for those long notes, it holds just so many things. And who doesn't love giving gifts? In this case, I really love how the long notes then also hold gift cards. Gift cards are a great gift to give because they're, always in season. They're always the right fit. A lot of times it can create an event as the person goes out to use them. Not just the event of opening them. But the one downside that I've always struggled with gift cards is that I personally, I'll be honest, find them a little boring. Especially when it comes to wrapping. And there's nothing like that big box with the big bow and all that paper being ripped and shredded and then the big pile of it on the floor afterwards. It's kind of fun. And gift cards don't always give you that same experience. So with what I'm creating today, you're going to be able to create a fun gift-giving experience with the gift cards. So let's just go ahead and we'll peel these off. And I'm not throwing that on the floor. I actually have a trash can over here to the bottom of my right hand. So don't go, oh my gosh, he's just tossing those on the floor. No, I am also the chief janitorial officer in my studio, so I try to be a little bit neat. So, in addition to being CEO, CFO, and everything else, I am the CJO, so it's up to me to pick up after myself. Okay, so I've got my tape on, and again, I want to make sure that my box, and it's already pre-scored. When you die cut it, it pre-scores it. So the one thing the Brothers Scan and Cut can't do is score. I've been really eyeing one of them, but while it might cut some things out, it doesn't pre-score, and a lot of our dies are pre-scored, so I love that. So I want to make sure that, again, my flaps are going opposite directions, and I'm simply going to go ahead and place this down. I don't want to cover this little tab flap here. I'm going to give it a good rub. And then when I flip it over, I'm going to fold this flap in with the sticky on it and fold this flat down, and it just allows me to line it up really easy, and now I can pop it up. Now, the one thing that I didn't do that I wanted to do while the box was unassembled is I had wanted to put these acetate window sheets in. It doesn't mean that I can't slide them in and have them in the box because they're going to fit exactly like the window, but my intention had been to put 4 glue dots, 1 in each corner, and I can still do that and then just kind of press it in. So let's go ahead and add at least one of the acetate windows, and you'll get the idea. Stampin' Up! Does sell window acetate sheets. They're in a 12 by 12 size, and they are in the section where the specialty cardstocks are, the foils, the glimmer paper, and things like that. And it's nice to have them on hand for creating window cards and other fun acetate projects, shaker cards especially. So I've got those 4 glue dots, and now I can just very carefully, especially because I have those little windows, I can slide that in, I can press those down in each corner, and now I have some acetate there. As far as putting the box together, you're just going to go ahead and tuck your flaps in. You could adhere them if you wanted to, but I'm going to use some ribbon to kind of hold our box together. So, but we're not going to shut it yet because we need to make the cards that are going to go inside. For the front of this, oops, let's have this. I have this Sure Do Love You, and we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on each end of the banner. And they have this cute little candy heart. We were just chatting about candy heart on my Facebook page, and whether people actually eat them or simply just buy them to read them because of the funny messages. And it is fun how they've evolved over time. So you've got those cute little messages. And we can just kind of pop a few up and around. So we already used always. There's 3 different messages. Be mine, I'm yours, and always are the 3 different messages. So we'll just kind of spill them out around the box. So now let's bring in our note cards. And the note cards have coordinating envelopes. There's 20 in a pack. And what I've done is I've just I used the whole same sheet of paper for the box as well as then the elements for my card. And this is cut down to 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And we'll just add some adhesive to this. So we've got that on the front. And we're going to do 2. So let's just do both of them at the same time, the same steps and the same elements. And let's turn them around this way because the hearts are nice and long. And this one just says, "You're my Valentine every single day." And then this one is just a plain white heart. And because it's a plain white heart, we can go ahead and take one of these other hearts that we've done. And I'm going to reach across the camera and we're going to grab a little dimensional. Oh no! Oh shoot, didn't hit the floor. And we're just going to pop that up in the center. So we've got these 2 elements, but we're not done with these cards yet, okay? So what I've done is I cut 2 pieces of Whisper white cardstock down to 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then what I did is in the framelit set, let me grab them here for a second. Let me bring this back into view for you. In the framelit set, there are these 2 elements right here, okay? And what I did, let's slide them off the magnetic sheet. And for those of you who are curious, I just find the magnetic sheets on Amazon. Just type in magnetic sheets and there's all different types and sizes and budgets. And I simply laid these down so that the bump was facing in towards the card and I die cut that. On the box that I showed you here on this element here, I used them instead the reverse way. I took them and put them down this direction on both sides, and I created a ribbon slide, a slot for the ribbon to go through. But in this case, I'm working with them in this direction. So let me just put those away so that I don't lose them. Let's put them back on their magnetic sheet. So what I have are these 2 little flaps right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this to the inside of my card. You want to be really careful not to put any adhesive on those flaps that you've created though. And we're going to go ahead and stick that down inside of our card. Now, could I have die cut this card here? Absolutely. I just wanted a little bit more sturdiness, and I didn't really want a little hole on the back of that card. It's just a personal preference. You don't actually need to cut into a whole nother piece of card to do it this way. Again, it's personal preference. It's one of the fun things about crafting is you get to do it your way. So now I have that. But I need to put a gift in those little slots. So I have a little coffee card. This one's actually going to be going where the Visa card is. And now you've got your little flaps to go ahead and hold that in. This then will go inside of our little envelope. And let's decorate our envelope here for a second. And let's just lay this piece of paper down. So I've just done that. You can actually use a circle punch. Circle punch isn't the exact size. You'll have a little bit of white showing. But if you want to cover the entire flap, you can do this. And I'm just using the flap itself as the template. And then we have our beautiful washi tape. The hardest thing for me with washi is kind of like any roll of tape, if you don't create that first little piece, is finding that beginning and feeling out for where that's at. Sometimes that can be the biggest challenge. And of course, I didn't do that ahead of time in front of you guys. So my plan was to run a couple of borders of tape across here. I will put that in the finished project because I don't want you sitting here watching me struggle to find the beginning of that as well. In addition, I can then use the washi tape to come across here as a little seal then that gets broken. On this back side of the heart, we're going to take this Sure Do Love You, and I'm going to line it up looking through the window so that it's backed to the other banner that's on this side. So we have our 2 fun gift cards. They would have their coordinating envelopes. I'm not going to stick them down inside the envelope. If any of you guys ever watched Jimmy Fallon and he does those thank you notes, pay really close attention. It's absolutely hysterical. He'll write his thank you note. He'll reach over, grab an envelope, and he, instead of putting the card in, he licks it and sets it back down again as if he'd put the card in, but the card never made it inside the envelope. I don't know, like, if anybody's ever paid attention to that hysterical blooper, but he does it all the time, so it's quite funny. But that's a little side note, but it's kind of cute. So I guess at the moment I'm mimicking him. And I can put that down in, and you also can see where the heart now is peeking through that window. So it lined up and it's peeking through the window. Not on this side, it's just a white envelope, and then that creates a nice contrast on this side as well. So make sure that you come visit me over at remarkablycreated.com for all of the supplies, for close-ups of all of the projects. You'll actually see the little washi tape tabs on it. And then make sure that you stop by and leave a comment on the blog post, because I am giving away a gift, some blog candy a day until Valentine's Day. So I sure do love all of you guys, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have a remarkable day.